Another type of an arm throw is pretty much similar to the sagging headlock. You can have a sagging arm throw. Quite frankly, I like the sagging headlock better than the sagging arm throw because when I pop the head, okay, with the anterior part or front part of my deltoid here, I really am able to kind of club my opponent's weight to the outside of his foot as I drive down. That's a little harder, I think, when I'm nailing them here, but I'm going to do the same thing. Instead of coming here, I'm going to nail them here with my shoulder, like that. From here, I want to hit them like this. From here, boom. Now, as I do that, I've got to knock his weight past his foot so that his weight is on the outside of the foot. And at that point, I'm going to continue to drive away, and I'm going to sag down on the arm so that he's going to collapse. This is a technique, just like with the sagging headlock, where I'm not going to back step and get my hip underneath and inside. Actually, from here, my hip is going to stay pretty much to the outside. I'm not going to come in. My hip is just going to go down and low as I try to drive through my opponent. So from this type of position, I really need to feel Kobe's weight a little bit more on this side. We might be moving around a little bit. And if I feel the weight stacking up a little bit more to this side, I'm going to hit here, and come down from here. If his weight is truly centered, that's a difficult technique because he's probably going to be able to adjust. I've got to initiate it from here when his weight is pretty much over this foot such that I don't have that much distance to travel as opposed to traveling, making his weight go from here to here. I've only got to make it go from here to here. Okay, I don't have as much distance to travel to get him off balance. So I might be moving around in here. I could have inside or outside. I'm inside here. If I kind of feel him moving to this side just a little bit, all I've got to do from here now is I'm going to come in here hard and try to drive him down to the mat. You'll notice my hip comes down, and I'm just trying to power through. Now, let me try that a couple more times. Sometimes I can set that up a little bit by moving him in this direction, because if I do that, frequently he's going to try to shift his weight back, and it's at that point I can hit him. Notice, if I circle Kobe in this direction, okay, if my opponent circles me in this direction, there's a tendency for me to want to step back. Boom, and that's the opportunity, one of the opportunities. So from here, I might have an underhook on this side here. I might just give him a bit of a tug here. If I feel him pull back, I come down. Okay, I'm trying to manipulate him so he will indeed shift his weight slightly. Naturally, if his weight is on this leg, and I were to try to do that, that would be a very foolish thing because he has a post going in that direction. It will be very unlikely that I'll be able to get that type of a technique. However, this side will be open. Boom. Okay, so kind of be aware of where your guy's weight, where your opponent's weight is, and I want to manipulate it to where I want it to be so I can make this move successful. When you're on your knees or practicing from your knees, you can do the same thing. Again, just like with a sagging headlock. If we're on our knees here, in here, and all of a sudden he shifts a little bit to this side, okay, or if he steps this leg up, okay, as soon as mechanically I'm like a triangle here with the base here, these legs are even, okay, equal in length. But if I step up, all of a sudden, this leg is shorter, okay? The post is not going to be as good. The post is really on this side now. So it's not that much to topple me over this way. And so that's an excellent opportunity. So you try to look and watch your opponent as you're moving them back and forth. You shift them to one side frequently, they'll adjust. So if I'm in here, working in here on our knees, and if I move him here, and all of a sudden I see Colby pick that up, that's my opportune time. As soon as I see that heel or feel that heel hit from here, I'm just going to come through. I'm going to pull my arm through. I'm going to tug, and my hip goes down to the mat. That's one thing I didn't explain before too much, but when I come and do this technique, I get my hip down to the mat as quick as I can, whether I'm down the ground on my knees or whether I'm up here on my feet. When I do the sagging hip throw or arm lock, my hip comes down very quickly. That's crucial, as opposed to, again, coming underneath. I'm in here. I'm moving around. I notice that his weight's stacked up here to this position. Pull him this way. He doesn't like that. If I pull him this way, he doesn't like that, so he puts his foot up. I tug him one way. What does he want to do? He wants to post in that direction. I take him the opposite way. So from here, for example, collar tie, inside control. These are just examples to get the principle down. But I give him a tug here. If I pull him in this direction, he wants to post, okay? And when he's posting, he's pushing back here. That's when I drive him past this knee, the center of his gravity, center of his weight, past this knee. Hit him hard here, which is going to push him hard. And I tug on the arm, and I lower my hip, which really sags on that arm. And that will result in him toppling. Now, when you're on the mat, what do? This is still pretty much the same principle with most of our throws. Actually, it's very similar to this over and under type position here. And what I want to do with this throw, after I've got my opponent down to the mat, I threw him down to the mat, regardless of whether I went to both knees or did a regular back step type movement. We end up on the mat here. Immediately, I want to keep my shoulder, I want to pin the shoulder down. Why? I don't want Colby to be able to pull the shoulder out and then hip heist and kind of come and then pull the arm out. If I'm loose on this arm, kind of hip heist up, pull the arm, and pull. If he can pull that shoulder out, that's no good for me. So I'm putting my shoulder in this socket here, pushing it down, and then I'm going to try to pull the arm like this, almost as if I'm trying to separate it from the joint. From here. And I'm not pulling it this way, I'm kind of like wrapping it around. I'm trying to put my shoulder in here. I'm going to wrap this part of his arm around my body, so I'm really stretching it. It's almost like this kind of a motion here. So I'm here. I'm going to be like this. Okay, I can be like this. I can be like this. Notice I don't want to be on my butt here. I'd rather keep my weight on Colby. Notice, too, I don't want to be here by his hips. No good for me. I want to be always up by his shoulder and face area. On guy's shoulder and face area. My head either needs to be towards his head here or towards his shoulder. But all the time the weight is on this arm or the shoulder that I've attacked. So from here, whether I'm starting from this position here, and I can generate tremendous force this way, as long as I keep my head down. Not here. Pop up. No good for me. Okay? Not here. Parallel. No good for me. I want to come out front. I want to keep the weight very high. And I want to keep it on this shoulder. If he can't pull this shoulder out, that way, I know that he got only about this much movement with his body as long as I keep this pinned. I can minimize that now by keeping my head down here. Turn into me. That's very difficult. Turn into me. Very difficult. And I can kind of use my head in here too to keep him down. Okay, my head in his head, my head on his opposite shoulder here. Okay, like this. Again, from this position, when he turns in, I push my head down. If he turns away, that's typically the time where I can get in a favorable position here, okay, or to come up. If you are securing the shoulder, you've got an excellent grip here. You've got an excellent grip. You keep this very tight, not parallel here. And if I want to go in any direction, I'm always going to be running this way. Now, you say, well, maybe he can pull out this way. No, he can't, because I'm going to keep this so jammed that physically it's impossible for him to slide this shoulder under this shoulder if I smush this shoulder to the mat. It ain't going to happen. So if I'm here, kind of turn towards your belly now. Okay, he's only going that far. That's all as far as he can go. I can also assist with my head against his head or against his shoulder here. Okay? From here, too, I can come in this position here. I'm in really good shape. If I can control his head and his shoulders, I've got him controlled pretty good. Now, in one particular position here, you've got to be careful of a choke. If I'm here, if I've thrown with like with an overhook here, like after I was pummeling, well, he can't choke me with this arm, right, because it's under my armpit. But if I had an outside grip and I threw him here, if he could scoot around, I'm in really bad shape. I can prevent that by being aware of where my shoulder is. My shoulder, as long as it stays here, he can't choke me. If I'm here, and of course too, this comes down here. I rotate here, so I'm not going to give him the time of day here. Certainly not going to let him come up here. But I want you to notice the shoulder position here. As long as I keep this here, okay, try choking from here. As long as he has no choke, as long as I can choke, he's got to choke me. He's got to get that shoulder away from my shoulder that's pinning it. In other words, he's got to defeat my pinning shoulder position here. And then he can choke me. So I'm here. As long as I'm in this position here, and I keep this very tight, I'm okay. Choke. Ain't going to happen. Okay? Isn't going to happen. But if I'm not conscious of where his shoulder is and he pulls his shoulder out, now I'm very vulnerable. If you focus on the shoulder position, you should have no problem.